Well, if you're not the guest referee in my match at WrestleMania, you want to tell me who the hell is?
Awesome. Fantastic to have you with us.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right. Add me to party.
All right. What am I doing?
We've got questions. We've got teasers. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be a good time. Yes, but he looks like he needs sugar. So Mike, my wife, has me on a strict diet right now. So I've lost 5 pounds in like 6 days.
Well, that's great. Congrats.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And they always give me crap for it. So
Yeah,
because I'm eating like cardboard food.
Here, I'll give you some sugar here.
Thank you.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now I feel the energy flowing through me. Perfect.
Okay, we'll be back.
Didn't think you needed to lose weight. I was weighing in at 210. Actually, I weighed in at 211, which isn't horrible, but I like being around 190. So, yeah, I mean, not terribly off. Try to take care of myself, you know, sitting down all the time. All right, what are we running?
Yeah, we're gonna start off. Oh, we got gifted subs all over. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch. Yeah, there's 2. Aaron, you got 1. Congrats.
I know, I feel elated.
Thank you very much, Just Doc, for the 2 subs to the channel. Glad to have you with us. Awesome. If this is your first time here, anyone, we do have people are welcome to ask questions in the channel. Tag at Last Epoch Game or at Action or Aaron Action RPG today as well, and we'll get those questions answered as quickly as possible. Aaron's got some questions I know ready for me as well that he's pulled from his community beforehand, which I'm excited to hear. And as always, we stream for charity, so the charity's above my head. All of it's going directly to that charity, just as usual, direct relief. And we'll have a new charity next month. Next week, I just want to say right off the bat, next week I will not be here.
Why?
I'm taking a vacation.
You're not allowed to take vacations until the game is launched. You're not allowed to go anywhere.
I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for my wife being like, "No, we're going on a vacation," I probably wouldn't.
You bring in the baby. The baby's big now. It's not a baby anymore.
No, it's not a baby anymore. We're
running around.
We're in the throes of potty training right now.
Dude, that is. How old is he?
He's I do know. I just didn't know if I wanted to say exactly how old he was. He's old enough to start potty training.
Okay, that's fair.
Sorry.
That's fair. My youngest is now 8, so we're past that point.
Yeah. At least I'd hope so.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start a Monolith. We're just gonna get going. I want to finish off my Fall of the Empire. Maybe we can.
I'm gonna try and keep up with you.
Maybe we can also run a little bit of whatchamacallit, a dungeon, maybe an arena, something like that. We'll see.
Okay. Are you at liberty to share where you are going on vacation?
I'm just going to the next province over, just Alberta.
Oh, okay.
It's
family and friends.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. We're driving out, but
well, that'll be fun.
One of the ferries is broken, and they're like, you're not like, there's so many fewer sailings, and it's gonna be hard to get off the island. Whatever.
Oh yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
So we'll see what happens.
Might as well just stay home.
I mean, we have considered it a little staycation. I tried to do that for when Tears of the Kingdom came out.
Trying to be like, hey, I need a couple days off. So with me, I'll always, basically when I take time off, it's because I need it for a game launch or something happening. So that drives my wife crazy too. She's like, when can we take an actual vacation where we leave the house?
It's great that you're not like actively working right now, but you're still actively working right now.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is exactly. It's like a double job. It's a double job. Just Doc wants to know why I'm running Necro. So on my stream, we polled everybody what class I should play, and Primalist 1. So Primalist 1. But, you know, I just thought I've actually got a couple classes prepared, so maybe I'm going to jump in and out of multiple classes. We'll see.
Sweet.
We'll see, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So
We'll keep it loosey-goosey.
yeah, it should be fun. And how many teasers do we have today?
Oh, we got a bunch. I'm stacked today. Stacked. I don't even know if we're gonna get through them all. We're so stacked.
Oh wow, that
Yeah.
actually. So make sure you remind him.
We can start hot. Let's just start off with one right now. Let's just go right from the get-go. So
I will say, not having to have to voice over this, I could just take it since I'm live. It's just
Yeah.
going to be so much easier for my video.
now I positioned the stuff, and I am just realizing right now that I forgot to account for your video placement in the.
It's totally fine. You can cover my face. Just do it. Just do it.
It'll be roughly the same amount that I usually cover my own face because it's just
Yeah, that's
centered,
fine.
and you're about roughly mirrored here. This is great. I'm just, I don't have to think. I'm just going.
Yeah, I told you that's pretty. This should be pretty easy.
You got a backpack? I'll hop in.
I actually do have a backpack, but right now I decided to rock cape. I wanted us to look a little different, so I took off my back piece and put on what I think is one of the best MTX, and it's the, I don't know, like the dark cape.
Yeah,
I like this one.
nice. Right. Yeah. Here. Okay. At the end of this echo,
Here.
I'll pop something up.
I'll surround you with minions.
Oh, it's an arena here. Didn't even notice. I should have been able to tell because the minimap's missing.
Unfortunately, my dread shade no longer buffs you. I'm sorry, sir. You know,
What jerk nerfs that, eh?
let's start with nerf talk now. Okay, I'm gonna ask you my first question.
Yeah, go ahead.
First question. First question is around character customization for 1.0. Now, this was a very generic question. I know you've been asked it a lot in the past. Not really about genders, like, you know, can you pick a male or a female, but like eye color and hair and stuff like that. Any plans for any of that in the future?
In the future, yes. 1.0, no, is the short answer to that. So we kind of bundle eye color, hair color, gender, all that's sort of a single feature as far as we're concerned. It's just character customization as just in general as a feature, and like it's not in progress yet. It's not being worked on yet, which I know is frustrating to hear for a lot of people. It is something that we are planning on doing still. It is a feature that, like, it's coming. It'll happen. It'll take a while. It's a lot of stuff comes down to just we have to prioritize things, and
Yep.
and getting a having characters be customizable isn't something that's really super high priority for us compared to performance, bug fixing, better like in-game communication to the player, just new endgame features, finishing the mastery classes. Like, there's so many things like that are just so much more important that they're going to take priority.
Got it.
Yeah, but yes, character customization is still on the list. It's not going anywhere. It's just it's on vacation.
You know, playing a lot of D2, for me, I mean, personally, this is just my opinion,
Yeah.
that character customization in an isometric action RPG has never been something I've fully cared about, because I've always been, your gear is your character. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that person has a Titan's Revenge, that person has a Grandfather, that person, like, it's almost like you know their build and you know what they're doing based upon how the items look over, eye color, hair color, stuff like that. But I also understand the idea that people want characters that, identify with themselves, or however you want to look at it. But
Yeah,
that's my take.
yeah, it's one of those things that for some people it's extremely important, and we want to deliver for those people.
Yeah.
We just unfortunately we hope that they can be patient for us.
You forgot the teaser. You can't start another one
Uh,
until the first teaser comes up.
I'm sorry. It was not intentional. I'm just absent-minded. I get talking.
Woot Link says he likes the Frost Cape better, so I switched it on. So now I got the Frost Cape on for
Nice.
you. Okay. Good listener.
Oh, here we got a little question here in chat. Let's just read that one out. Woo! I do not know how I survived that, but I'll take it.
I'm not around you.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Where's my army? Where's my bodyguard?
Well, there's purple items on the ground, so
Okay.
I'm looking at them.
Oh yeah, here's one.
I will say, I forgot what it feels like to have a loot filter. For everyone out there, you know what I'm talking about. All right.
Got him. All right. There's already a few skills that you're able to use as supporting skills, but what are your guys' thoughts on purely support characters in RPGs, as in something like an aura or a curse bot in PoE that does nothing but buff, debuff? We aren't planning out classes to have that as a specific option where it's pure support, nothing else at all. We do plan out support options and support like elements for characters and for classes, and say like, okay, like we're making this skill, and like, okay, here's maybe a branch that you can take the skill into a supporty way, and like, or here's like a skill that's really focused around support stuff. We haven't really sat down and said like, okay, well, how can we add nodes and skills to this class to specifically make a pure support build possible? And I think that it will be possible to make support builds, but you're going to be typically taking a little bit more active role in that. So like having a character that just walks near you, and the presence of them being near you is a fully complete build as a support character, is not something I think will be realized.
The idea would be like a bard or a healer class or something along those lines are currently not planned. Like you are the group's healer. No.
Yeah, I mean, like I think you'll be able to get pretty close to that with a paladin. Like once Healing Hands has its skill tree, and you've got Holy Aura, and then you've got things like maybe you're casting Smite and you're really debuff focused on Smite, which also heals when it hits, and then maybe you're like there's also a skill missing there, which does have the skill we've got planned for there does have some support options and elements into it.
Oh, what's the name of that skill?
I'm not gonna tell you.
What does it do? No.
But yeah, like there's. I think
You can't start another one until you do the leak.
Oh my god. Okay, we won't go. We won't move at all.
Go on.
Okay, so here is a picture of. I don't know what to say what it is. I'll say what it is. It's fine.
Yes. It's already working.
Here's a picture of. Come on, transition. There we go. Of the leader of the Merchants Guild. That we will see eventually. So this is a little ways out leak. This is not next patch leak, but this is
a leader of the Merchants Guild. Okay.
Yes. So this is a character you will interact with in game, and they'll have various story elements and things like that. Like they will be a story NPC there'll be a voice actor for this and everything. And yeah, so this is gonna be a one of the new characters coming.
Does it say the name of the, does it say her name on there?
Sorry.
I'm trying to look. Merchant's Guild, it doesn't. I had to zoom in.
I'm just gonna do that.
Art looks good. I like it. What was that, big old lizard? Like Komodo or something?
Yes, it does not say, it says Merchants Guild on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, so it's funny. Basically everything I'm going to show today, I've seen for the first time myself today.
That's Miss Bunnybags, exactly. She does have kind of some gold there. She's got money for sure.
Just a little bit of
for
money.
Sure. I love gold. Okay. Leak 1, teaser 1, out. There you go. Any update on factions? I know you said it was pretty early on.
No, it's still early on. We're building infrastructure for it.
Now, I will go in just quickly to another community question. This one actually just came in through my Discord.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you could ping me if you have a question. Any plans to move some testing back to CTs?
Yes.
For example, factions, masteries, skills, things of that nature.
Yes, we are. The CT program got kind of what we were using it for got adjusted a little bit, and then last patch we didn't really use it at all.
Yep.
And then, so we changed what we used it for 0.90 and didn't use it at all for 0.91. 0.92 we are using it.
So it will be making a return.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know what that looks like or how that's going to work at all. But I know that I was in a planning meeting today for what the first build that's going to go to the CTs is going to look like. So it better be coming back, because yeah.
If you want, I could log in right now and play that build on stream. If you want me to do that, I can make that happen.
No.
All right. But I mean, I would think like CT's like testing towns and the fixes for those types of things. It would be great to obviously run through that before the patch is live, right? I mean,
yeah, the towns thing's interesting because like we've been testing towns internally for months, and it was so smooth. It was fantastic.
It was just more about how many people were in, right? Or
no, it actually didn't have to do with the volume, weirdly enough.
Really?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the volume, which I know is insane. Yeah. There was a slight.
That honestly makes me feel better. I'm glad.
There's a slight difference in the server configurations between live and our testing environment.
It's up, right? Or down?
Oh, it's up. Yeah, sorry. I'm not very efficient.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Tra la la la. Wait, those guys didn't die. Oh, I wonder what happened.
I got a question. Could you ask if EHG would consider a mechanic like a super rare rune / glyph to revert a legendary item back to the LP unique? So basically, you got a 3 LP, and the one affix you want doesn't transfer over, and you're like, unbelievable. I can use this mirror that is 1 in a trillion to bring back my item.
Yes. So what? I maybe. I'll give that one a maybe. I'll give it an I don't think so maybe. So the reason why it's an I don't think so is because it's creating an additive chance multiplier, or like an additive like method to access specific gear that changes the overall difficulty of attaining that gear. That's usually made up of a bunch of multiplicative things.
Okay.
So like you've got these stages, in like you get to the point where you have your unique and your exalted item, and you've got whatever the chance is for that, right? Now the getting this other extra item is like it's getting extra rolls at the first it's getting extra rolls at that process, right?
Yes.
And it's
it's added rolls on top of added rolls. Is that what you're saying?
It's kind of hard to explain with this one, but I think there's a low probability of something like that happening. I think it's on the cusp enough because there's still a multiplicative thing that happens afterwards, because you have to still roll exalted onto it again to make it legendary. It might be possible.
Okay, I'm gonna switch up the question a little bit, and I guess this is from me. Now, some people love this, some people hate it. Okay, I just want to start with that. But like, I don't know if you've been following. This is like the 6 rarest items in Diablo 4, and it's basically like, you know, Willy Wonka, did you get a golden ticket? It's like chance of finding 0.00002. It's crazy. There's been like not even all of them have been found.
Wow. I haven't been following close enough to know that.
Yeah, so, and they're like, you know, it's grandfather, Chaco, all these these items. So, you know, once one is found, it's literally like it's news.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on what is your take on ultra rare? Like we just had a member of the community she just found her first mirror in PoE, you know, and she's been playing the game for a decade. Like it, hate it. What do you think about that?
I think it's really tough. So what I like personally is often not what I think is best for Last Epoch.
Okay.
And I frequently will pitch things in Last Epoch that if I was like making something for myself, like if I was just like, okay, this game is entirely up to me what's gonna happen, and I don't care what anyone else thinks, and everyone just has to like what I like.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we'd have mega ultra rare stuff. We'd have things that like the concept of Wind Force in our Wind Fury, sorry, Wind Force, the sword in WoW. You know, is it Wind Force or Wind Fury?
That's, you would know more than me.
Okay, there was a sword in early days of WoW. Wind Fury. Okay, sorry. Chat's got me back. It's Wind Fury.
Thunder Fury. Someone
Thunder Fury?
put.
Thunder Fury. Oh yeah, Thunder Fury. Blessed Blade. Yes. Okay. Yes. Sorry.
Okay, there you go. Thunder Fury.
That's the one. My bad.
Okay.
It was so rare that like, yeah. Did someone say Thunder Fury? Blessed Blade of the, yeah. It was so rare that like there was a couple in existence for the longest time type thing in the whole all of WoW, and I love that the idea that there was this item that was just like even like you had to get like a dozen people together, you had to get 40 people together to make it, and like there's 40 people working for like a month to even like make it happen type thing, and it's like that sort of stuff. Oh my god, I love it. These ideas, these items like can barely exist, and all that sort of stuff. It's just fantastic. Now,
so I also like that. I like the idea of, I've been playing the game for 10 years. I've never found this, but it's still exciting that the chance that it could drop. I mean, I agree with that. Now, the Diablo 4 thing is like, someone in chat said that mirrors are way more common than these items. These items are truly like winning the lottery. Like that is the odds of finding one. So I don't know if I like it that rare. I don't know. Maybe I do. I like the idea of like some excitement in there.
Yeah, it's hard to say really. Now, if these items are like build enabling items where like you can't play a specific archetype. You cannot. It's impossible to play a sword and board melee bruiser character unless you have this item that's the rarest thing to ever happen to a video game. And so like one person finds it, they're the only person in the entire game that can play this type of character at endgame. Like, no, that sucks. And I doubt that's the way it is in default.
Well, we were talking about it on my podcast, that there's the person that found the helmet, like they're already like, people are trying to buy her account, and you know, because it's like that, you know, that level of rarity. But and having it be like that for like bragging rights type thing, cool. I'm fine with that personally. What was it, Tyrael's armor or something like that in D2?
Yeah,
or something? Right? Like the rarest item in the game.
Oh yeah, it's the hard thing about that is that there's certain items that were like strictly rarer, but
Tyrael's might, yeah.
People would farm certain areas more to cause like more of them to be found. So like what is actually the rarest item is hard to actually calculate.
But as far as statistical drop chance, Tyrael's
yeah,
might.
I think Tyrael's was, but Mang Song's lesson is possibly rare. I don't know. I know that was the last one. Mang Song's was the last one that Llama found.
By the way, this is the longest we went like up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, it was bad.
Ming Song is number 3. I love it how people in chat know.
Okay.
That is awesome.
I do know that I like over the years of playing D2, I've definitely found every item.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Every single one?
I can say that quite confidently. I played a lot of D2.
I mean, I played a lot of D2 too, but I can't say that confidently.
No, I could say, yeah. And like, so I sometimes think about like, am I 100% sure that every single one of them actually dropped for me? And I'm not 100% sure on that. I think it has.
Well, then you would appreciate this. The item that was found where they're trying to buy the account. They didn't put Poison Nova in, but this item creates Poison Nova or something when you're hit. It's sad they didn't put it in. Anyways, question around what's this? Factions.
Yep.
Crafters Guild.
A Crafters Guild. Yeah. So the sorry, if there's a whole question there, go ahead.
That's the whole question.
Okay.
Basically, any idea, like people who love crafting, love tinkering, collecting, that type of stuff. Crafters Guild. And I know we've like I remember the picture you drew where it's like you pick between these two factions and you pick between these two. You know, it's not one or the other, which is cool. Any ideas around a Crafters Guild?
Yeah, I mean, Circle of Fortune is going to have crafting benefits. We've already shared that. There in the initial post, one of the graphics has like one of the like there's graphics there that's like the example bonuses that could come from the guilds or whatever. And I'm pretty sure one of them is a bonus to crafting.
I thought it was legendary potential drop, but was it actual crafting?
I might just be spoiling stuff right here.
That's okay, I can't remember it. Everybody is gonna be got a chance at crafting in Circle of Fortune.
Yes, Circle of like because it's more of Circle of Fortune's a lot of it is like with the prophecies and stuff like that. A lot of it revolves around like you acquiring the gear yourself. That's sort of like the primary theme is like how you're solo self-found. Right?
Yeah,
I really want to avoid that term solo self-found because it doesn't have anything to do with solo.
That's true, because you don't have to be solo. You can play with the Merchant's Guild, you can play with friends.
Exactly. Sure. And it's not strictly self-found either, because you can still do gifting.
Item gifting.
Yeah. Oh, you have insufficient stability. Too bad.
Oh no. Is this a boss fight?
Yeah.
Are we even in Empowered? I haven't.
No, we're not. We're not even Empowered.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think. Fine. Let's see if we can.
My character's like 70.
Oh, is it?
73.
Oh. That's good.
Power level.
Don't sell yourself short.
This account I've only played on stream.
Oh, okay. Why don't you just make yourself like an awesome something out of your other? Can't you just give yourself whatever you want?
Yes, I could cheat. Yes.
Yes.
I do have the capability to cheat. I could go into the database and
we have the technology.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna edit that database ever manually. Oh my god, I would get in so much trouble.
Oh, I'm sure. Something as far as like communities playing together, clans, guilds. I think you've mentioned that. I think the word you guys EHG wants to use is clans. I could be wrong on that, but
I don't know if we've come up with a specific name for it. But yeah, like that's guilds, clans, that sort of system is something that I think will sort of like eventually make its way in.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be. I know it won't be a 1.0 feature, and I don't think it'll be a like shortly after 1.0 feature either. Just because it's one of those things that kind of tends to. It's really cool.
It is.
When it works well, people like can build a community around it in the game.
Yep.
And like all those things are awesome, and we want to get those in.
But then you have to answer the questions. Is it going to have like a shared stash? Is it like what are the social features?
Yeah, and we
are you going to have a guild area?
Yeah, we aren't putting a shared stash in for them. So it's like, what is the mechanical benefit of a guild at that point, other than just a sort of a shared friends list,
or like a chat?
Yeah, like a shared chat channel.
Yeah,
a shared chat channel and a shared friends list, which is not nothing. It's not nothing, but is that enough to warrant like pre 1.0 dev time compared to?
Yeah, it's hard because you couldn't do like achievement only clans, because then you're forcing people to go into like they have to join a clan to get the achievement.
Yeah, so there's some tricky things there. I think there's a good chance we will add them at some point, but it's one of those like it's not high enough priority. There's like
that's fair.
Right now, the like so much of the core focus of what we're doing is polish, performance, getting what we have really feeling awesome, and a lot of these like very important what I would call secondary features, where I think having more polish on the primary features is more valuable than having these secondary features created.
Randomization in the monolith.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I feel like that is huge.
Yeah.
That is gonna be a big one. And I think you've alluded to that is something that the goal, or at least the hope, is 1.0, correct?
Well, yeah,
or at least
so
refresh to the mono.
like something. So like the thing I've talked about, and I've always been very careful to try and word this way, is that the goal there, the initial goal for something like this is not, hey, the zones are randomized layouts. I've never said that. Very carefully never said that, because that's a huge change. I think that's something that is sort of been in the back of all of our minds for a long time, of getting these procedurally generated levels into the game. It's been one of those things that we've always kind of gone, can we do this? Is like do we have time to get this in? Do we know how to do this? Is there a way we can do this? And it always kind of comes up a little short on the doable category.
Well, it's funny. I've been playing the game long enough where it was you start here and you end here, and that's it.
Yeah.
Every map. And then it was like, now you can start at the back or in the middle, and there's different objectives and things like that. But obviously the map is always the same. It's just what the objective is and then where you travel on the map.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people like that.
And so this is the thing that I've been talking about in the last few months on stream about is this like unexpected content, and like things, and this is the type of stuff we are working on that is much more doable and much less involved, and that's like having some sort of content that you don't know. Like, I think the example I always use is treasure goblins, which is not where we're starting this, but that's just the example I use. So that's the style, and it's having things like you don't know what's going to happen. It's like you start the monolith and you say like, and there's something that draws your attention to go this way, and there's something that draws your attention to go this way. And that, I think that'll be really valuable and really useful and really good and fun and all that sort of stuff.
Everybody likes treasure goblins, even though it's not going to be treasure goblins.
Yeah, I mean, I will still push for treasure goblins to exist at some point, because I love that as a mechanic. It's so simple, it works so well. Like, I feel like it's one of those things that you could like, someone could probably slap them in like an afternoon, right? Like functionality wise, it's not that hard.
Okay. Let's see. Any questions from chat? I don't want to just take over and ask a million questions. I want to make sure community has their voice. Anybody got anything?
Sure has been a while since we've had a teaser. It has been a while. I think I can squeak something out.
I think it's something in there.
Any other questions there? Well, I'll do in the next intermission.
While you're squeezing that teaser out, people have asked me a lot, and I think I've incorrectly reinforced this idea that the Rune Master class will be focused around traps.
Yeah, so I can't really talk.
It'll be a trapper class, and the original, it's also going to have golems and all this type of stuff. Anything you can share as far as theming.
Yeah.
You talk about, Warlock's going to be like Jafar. Can you kind of break down theming of Rune Master?
I don't have as strong of a touchstone theme that I can call on like that with Rune Master. It definitely hits a fair few similar theming notes as Sorcerer does. Like there's a lot of theme overlap there for sure. Not mechanical theme, but theme. And that's actually what we've been working on is having those feel and be distinct from each other.
Okay.
Which is pretty important.
But golems.
Yeah, so
am I going to be able to have an army of golems?
No.
Dang it.
Sorry. No golems. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that one for free.
So the 3 golems on screen right now, that's just where we're going to be.
Those are your golems. Golems are, at least for now, going to be a necromancer skill. But elemental golems is a theme that I feel like there's a good chance we'll revisit at some point in the future. But it's not going to be part of Rune Master. Sorry.
Well, it's okay. I feel like playing every game in the genre. You do a very good job with minions. So you could just keep it up. Actually, people actually complain. It's like, all I find is minion gear. It's all minion gear. That's all this game does is minions. Yes.
Oh, I just messed up. I started another one. It's okay.
I know you did.
Don't move. Okay, so here's a little teaser.
All right, let's see what we got. What do we got?
We are bringing back the 2.5D cinematics. So we have those ones at the start of when you make a new character and there's a little character intro, and it's like pictures and voiceover, and they kind of move a little bit, but it's not like a full-on CGI video or anything like that. So we are bringing those back for chapter bookends. So one thing we get a lot is people say like, hey, like I don't even know what chapter I'm in. I have no idea what chapter I'm in. I like
True.
Yeah, like,
I say that.
when did the chapter end? Like, yeah, there's a boss fight. Like, what happened? You know, like, and get some more story beats in there because a lot of people just like race through it, which I do too. And so we are working on. They're definitely not done yet, and they won't all be included in the next patch by any stretch of the imagination. Probably won't even all be in by 1.0. I don't think.
Don't say that. Don't sell yourself short.
But we are working on them. And here's a little preview of one of those that is being worked on right now.
So what you're saying is what we are looking at is like the end of act blah.
Yeah. And this is they aren't going to be black and white. I was told to make this clear that they are not going to be black and white. This is just a like a concept storyboard art for it that they're using to build it.
I think this is chapter 7.
I don't even know.
Oh, the art looks nice. Who drew this?
I don't know who drew that, but yeah, there's some stuff in there to look into.
Yeah, that looks clean.
Someone's asking, could CT testers get a sandbox type interface so it's easier to test out specific things, especially when it comes to items without having to spend tons of time trying to grind it out? We actually very intentionally don't give a sandbox environment to our CTs because a lot of the really important stuff that we're trying to test is usually not, hey, does this build work type things. That's usually not what our goals are with CT builds. If that is one of the goals of one of our CT builds, like say like, hey, do these builds work, or stuff like that, there we might add certain tools like that because we do have some tools. We do have like reset your passives for free, reset the skill for free, like get also a bunch of skill points. Like we can do all those types of things, and we do have internal builds to do it. But usually those aren't the things we're really trying to get tested. And I know it's frustrating sometimes when you're like, oh, I want to try these things, and you're not giving me the tools to do it and everything like that. But like, we usually need to focus on really like specific things to test. That makes any sense? Yeah.
I have a question.
Hit me.
This is really funny. Xathius asked me, he's a member of my community, out of the 3 final masteries, which one will be the easiest to play? Well, I've played all 3. They're pretty good. I don't know. Out of the easiest, I'm gonna say Warlock, because that's the one that I want to play first. So that's just my reasoning behind it, even though I'm still mad at Mike when he told me that it's not void focused. And I'm not gonna go over that sandbox. I asked for years. Finally got an answer. It's not gonna be void focused unless that's changed, which Mike, please, you'll make my year if it is. But Warlock. That's my answer.
But you haven't played Warlock yet.
I've played it. It's fine. You're right. I haven't played any of them. Let me just put it out there. I'm just kidding. I haven't played any of them. They're not finished yet.
No, they're not finished
we gotta be a little more patient. That being said, my community has been alluding that you said last week that there's a new dot coming.
Yep.
And we all think that new dot might be for the Warlock, just because it made sense in our heads. I don't know. You probably can't say, but
that's not what I was referring to.
No?
It's not what I was referring to. I think Warlock probably does have. I don't know off the top of my head right now, but I'd be surprised if there was no new dots involved in Warlock as well. That'd be pretty surprising. But that's not what I was referring to.
Dang it. Okay. All right.
I'd be surprised if Warlock doesn't get a new dot.
Jafar.
Yeah. Like just if you think of like some Warlock fantasies that you probably have from and theming from other games you coming from, like some of those things we do like to try and deliver on. I'm not saying
Like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I'm not saying we've pulled specific abilities or anything like that, but
Yeah.
there are certain expectations that people have coming from their games, and disappointing players on those fronts is usually not wise.
Okay, I think that's fair. That's good. One thing I would ask is, are there plans to save save map mobs / items between zone changes? TP for 1.0.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be there for 1.0. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, it sucks, and we want to fix it.
What is the best base class, and why is it Sentinel?
Why is it Sentinel?
Why is it Sentinel?
It's
I tell
Sentinel,
people all the time.
It's Sentinel because you've accidentally mispronounced Rogue.
Exactly. People ask me all the time, like, what's the best leveling class? I think they're all pretty close. I actually think if you're just power leveling, like, which one can you just tear through the campaign the quickest with? I actually think it could be Mage, because of teleport working with Nova so well that while you're moving, you're also killing everything.
Yeah,
I'm, like,
I think that's
biased
probably
towards that leveling.
there is like there's some speedrunning stuff. There's like a channel we had to make in Discord for speedrunning, and I haven't been keeping up with it, but I know someone released a campaign speedrun video a few months ago actually that was surprisingly fast. I remember like looking at the title going, no.
Was it campaign to endgame, or what was it? Something like that?
I think it was campaign. I don't think it was full like clear the monolith. I think it was just like beat Majasa. So, like SSF beat Majasa. I remember being fast enough feeling a little ashamed at how slow I do it.
Feeling like that is pretty fast. That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
When people ask me like, hey, what's a good like starting class? Like if you could pick anyone, and I always tell them it depends what you like to play because all of them are so different. But if all things created equal, I actually think Paladin is the easiest first class to start. And you have so much just build diversity with what you want to do.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's also pretty strong theming in the genre, and it does deliver on a lot of those expectations. Like you can make a D2 Hammerden.
That's true.
Yeah,
and unlike other builds where you're trying to figure out how to get more damage and how to push endgame, it's the easiest to get your resistances. It's the easiest to get endurance. It's the easiest to get armor. So it's just you have more survivability.
I know there are questions of its top end defense potential not being up to snuff with some of the others, but it's a lot simpler to get to its top end defense.
Correct. That's nice. I could just read chat while my minions kill everything. What's up, Reimer? How are you doing, sir? Any more campaign chapters planned before 1.0?
I don't think so.
Okay, so campaign as it currently sits.
I think the campaign where it is now is what will be the launch. Oh, that's not. I don't know. Actually, wait a second.
If you don't know, it's fine.
Next patch, I don't think has any campaign major changes in it.
Okay.
But 1.0 might have them. That's where I realized I may have misspoke.
Okay.
Sorry.
Next update, nothing.
As far as I know, yeah. At least nothing major.
Okay. Would you say that the next update 092 would be focused more around endgame?
More focused than 9.1 was, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 9.1 had very little, so it's pretty easy to say that.
Right, I know.
But yeah. There's more. I don't wanna get people's hopes up about some like huge overhaul or anything like that.
Okay.
Or like
Mike.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and answer this question. I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. The question came in: what are the goals for 1.0? Okay. Well, the goals are to obviously have a strong successful launch, servers to work correctly, no lag towns to work, to launch a amazing faction system where you will have the Circle of Fortune and the Merchants Guild, end game mechanics with the arena and arena champions, at minimum 3 dungeons with the Monolith, and kind of refreshed with possible randomization, randomization.
Unexpected content.
Unexpected content, yeah, because randomization sounds like
it implies procedural level generation, yeah.
On top of that, you will have 15 masteries and 5 classes, and each one of those masteries is very distinct. The 3 that are currently not in are the Warlock, Rune Master, and the Falconeer. That'll all be dropping by 1.0. So what's left is Polish, the 3 masteries, and the factions.
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, and there's a pretty big emphasis on the polish. I think for us, anyways. There's a lot of what we're doing, a lot of what we're focusing on is the polish. And I think that's pretty obvious that there's a few sections that need it quite badly. But yeah.
I feel more than anything else, it's just the server side stuff. That's just my personal opinion. Like, being able to play with a group of 4 Necros, and I go left, you go right, you go center, you go backwards, and it functions perfectly. I feel like that's my current greatest want.
Yeah, there's definitely some need there, and there's a lot of time and effort being spent on improving that. Like that's what I'm talking about. Polish.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Like getting the servers. And it's less about the actual server boxes themselves. Like it's not. We don't have hardware problems so much as we have software problems.
And you were alluding that it's not, it's not like, oh, there's 40,000 players on at a time, we can't handle it. It has nothing to do with the volume of players, correct?
Yeah. It's not been a volume problem.
Okay, that's good. Because the volume's going to triple soon.
I hope so.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
No, yeah, we've provisioned huge server banks to try and alleviate problems. We're like, all right, let's buy more servers, and to help. We've tried a lot of things to do that, and a lot of what we're doing is a lot of the main focus from the start of the problems we had to now. A lot of our main focus and the biggest wins have all come from software improvements, and we're gonna keep doing that.
And you've talked about in the past how, you want to be very nimble. Like when something does creep up, because obviously, in the future there's going to be stuff. It's like, fix it fast, pull it back, get it working, not letting problems linger, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I can only imagine the behind the scenes when something it's just it's got to be just 911.
Yeah, we try, so that's part of the reason we try and schedule launches for times when we know people are going to be available.
That's good.
So that we can respond quickly to problems, which doesn't always end up being the most appealing time for some people. I know we've had issues with that where it's like you're launching while work's happening, that sort of stuff, and it sucks. And it's on a Thursday instead of a Friday or Saturday or something like that. And I know it can be frustrating, but. Having that time when we know people can be available to fix problems when they arise is really important.
Thethia says Warlock needs to be the dot master. Affliction. Yeah. I'm not even asking you because you wouldn't say, but I have a very strong sense that there's going to be some damage over time elements to the Warlock.
Yeah, it won't be strictly focused on that.
Yeah. Okay, my own question. Warlock, Falconeer, Rune Master, will any of them have a minion skill?
Yes.
Good answer.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. of those 15 skills, yes, at least one of them is a minion skill.
At least one! Ooh. At least we gotta go down. At least one. Not including the Falcon, because I don't.
That's what I was talking about.
That's cheating. No, you can't without the. Oh, sorry. With excluding the Falcon. Excluding the Falcon.
I don't know. Sorry.
All right, never mind. We didn't get you. We didn't get anything. Xathia says, hopefully a possession skill. Like you curse these enemies and they turn around and fight for you, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, that is sweet. I like that too.
We actually did experiment with something like that for a little while. Because we do have a curse or an ailment already called possession.
Well, I remember when I was making the Aaron's Will, my unique item, I pushed really hard for, like, you know, corpse animation. Like, oh, you kill the enemy, and then if you're wearing my armor, you could bring it back to life and it fights for you. And you're like, no, like, that's... Because then we need to create corpses, and, you know, it's like a whole different game mechanic. Dude, we're doing the thing where we chase the enemies and they're circling.
Oh, yeah.
And
And it's really interesting because that was one of the main lines we were tracking with initial Warlock development was having that as a thing.
oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, which is
It brings me back to the cow level when I kill the cows and then I got an army of cows following me that are fighting on my side. Like, oh, I love that idea.
But it's how, because I remember you asking about the reanimation stuff, and it's why I remember us answering very quickly no.
Because you thought, because there was already a plan for it.
No, because we already knew we couldn't do it because we already tried and failed.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah. I was like, nah, we tried. Nah.
That was the goal. It
Yeah.
didn't work. That's really funny. That's okay. At least you tried. That's good. All right, let's see. Will we expect any complete overhauls for existing class skills for 1.0? I think Mike can answer this one, but he's going to say Shaman has some stuff going on.
Yeah, so there is a plan for Tempest Strike to get an overhaul. It's getting moved where it is in the unlock order. Its role in the class is getting changed. A lot of its functionality is getting shifted a little bit. But its tree will get redone. I don't know if that's going to make it in by 1.0 or not. Like our whole skill team is just masteries. Masteries. And once the masteries are done, we'll look at things like Tempest Strike will be first on the list probably.
I would be very surprised if Tempest Strike in its current state
gets left in for 1.0. Yeah.
I feel like I'd be pretty. I mean, just because.
I really hope not. But it will not be a blocking feature for 1.0. I'll put it that way.
Oh, no, that makes sense. Yeah, Tempest Strike isn't. Oh no, we gotta push it back.
Yeah, we're not pushing 1.0 because we didn't get Tempest Strike finished or anything like that.
Okay, that's fair. I absolutely accept that.
But yeah, it's Tempest Strike's the biggest offender for sure. There's other skills that are like kind of underwhelming, don't really have the same polish as some other skills that are in the game that might be similar, or on other classes. So maybe a little bit of that like class envy that happens, and things like that. And we totally see all that stuff. Masteries come first.
I haven't had a single minion die since we've been playing.
Wow.
Not one.
Wow. None of them even like expire from time. Don't you have like things that decay?
I guess okay, I'm sorry. My
yeah, you got zombies,
died.
yeah.
But all of my permanent minions, even my vanguards, I don't think I've lost one. I don't think I've lost one.
That's
yet.
funny. Power level
came in about. I know this is well into the future, but after 1.0 comes out, how long do you guys plan it'll take until the first cycle? 1.0 will be cycle 1.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's kind of hard to like define a cycle. Like I'd kind of argue we're in cycle 0 right now, type thing.
Yeah. Well, most people, I don't want to speak for anybody. I normally think of like a cycle as a start over point where there is something new to do. Like, you know, there's like in the genre, there's a new dungeon, there's a new skill, there's new items, there's a fresh ladder,
That's the key for me, is the fresh ladder.
Yeah.
And that's probably just because I'm so used to playing D2. Just for the longest time, that was like the only, like there was nothing new that changed. Like,
what's your favorite class in D2?
that's so hard. Like, I have very fond memories of all of them. My favorite class build combo everything is an Enchantress. Like, so terrible. Love it so much. Like, you show up in a game with like people who are like maybe they're in their like 80s and 90s and they're doing pretty good and everything, and you show up with this like Sork and a crossbow, and they're just like, "What are you doing, you fool, you noob?" And you're like, "Ah, eat it."
Did you ever play axe throwing barbarian?
Yep. Not a huge fan. Get some glimmer shards.
That one always cracked me up. It's just like kind of a meme build.
Yeah.
I like Javazon. That's why I was so excited when I saw the javelin skill come into the game.
Yes, and Javazon was the reason for that skill.
That is perfect.
Yeah. Big fan. Really like werewolf, like rabies druids. Really enjoy that. I mean, Hammerden's always fun, but I much prefer Smiter.
It's funny, as you talk about D2, like there's so much theming in Last Epoch. Like you could see the reference points or the just what you guys took, which is great. I love that.
I mean, like, it's I talk about like making Last Epoch and making like the game that I would make for myself, and there's the vast majority of it's identical, and a lot of that is just the things that, you know, like each of us when we were like growing up and playing games as a kid, like what spoke to us, what did we latch onto, and those are the ideas you come up with. Those are the things that that
I get to make the mastery I wanted as a kid playing D2. That is cool. That is cool. Rich is asking if I've died. Nope. I don't even think one of my minions has died, but we're not playing Empowered, which is good.
Well, this Warlock needs to be made male because the male name in English. Yeah. You know, I understand that on Earth English, Warlock is a male class, but you know, like, this is just the best term we have for what this class is in Eterra as well. This is the closest thing we could come up with. So there's no direct it doesn't translate quite perfectly.
My options for the reward were experience or shields, and I was level 100 and I took experience just because I had never picked shields. It's pretty funny.
I got a ton of exalted spears here laying on the ground.
Oh, those are, feel free to go through them.
I'm just gonna dump it all in my stash.
Aaron, are arenas going to be enhanced further? Different modes of competitive models, or are arenas finalized? I believe, well, we have all the different ladders for the arena. Maybe like expanding arena champions, Mike? Anything like that? Or
yeah, there won't be much different with arena from 1.0. I'd really like to get some more arena champions in. I know this is kind of something that I've talked about in the past, of like what some early ideas for arena champions and things like that were. I'd love to see us, and I have no idea if we're gonna do this. This is just if someone asked me tomorrow if I wanted it, I'd say yes. Like at the end of maybe like before 0.92 starts or something, and in preparation for 1.0, looking at who was sitting on top of the ladder and trying to make arena champions like similar to those classes and characters and things like that. Maybe like nods to some people who won some of the ladders, something like that. I'd love to do something like that to make new arena champions. I don't know if we have time. I don't know if there's going to be any differences for arena champions, or anything in the arena for 1.0. I know that's definitely a back burner feature right now.
At Last Epoch Game, I know you're busy, but you love the game. Have you played D4, and is there anything from that you enjoy and might want to port to LE?
I mean, so the short answer is I actually don't even own D4 right now.
What?
Yeah, I do not own D4 right now.
That's okay. I didn't. They gave me. I didn't buy it either.
I played the beta a bunch, and with where the launch date was and the timing of patches for us and our push for 1.0 and things like that, I'm like, I won't have any time to play it. I'm gonna wait, and it'll be a little bit heads down right now. Partially as well because, like, and this sounds ridiculous, but like the pretty well the only game I think that could realistically give D2 a run for its money is my like all-time favorite game growing up is Ocarina of Time. And so Tears of the Kingdom just came out, and it drew my attention a little bit.
I see.
Yeah, and I play that with my wife, so we really enjoy playing that together. And I like games that I can play with her, but she doesn't like Diablo. So, given that I have extremely limited time to play, I haven't been playing D4. I played a beta a bunch, and there was a lot of the stuff that I do, and like I watch streams and stuff like that and everything. But the things that I really like about D4 that I think we could learn from is their use of animations and like casting animations specifically. And yeah, I think that's the stuff that we can learn from the most that we are falling short a little bit on. Some of the stuff too that's good.
Any plans for Twitch drops?
Yeah, I think so. Nothing concrete, nothing like immediately soon.
But in the works?
But yeah, I know it's a conversation we had at one point and went, okay, yeah, we should do that. Anyone got time to work on that? No.
Sign it to somebody. Who?
Yeah, exactly. So I'd be surprised if it doesn't happen.
Just give it to Reimer. He's not doing anything.
Reimer does a lot.
I know he does. I know. I just know he's watching, so I just get my hits.
Yeah, get it, get that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, Mike, take your hand off the keyboard for 1 second.
Are you dead?
No. I almost.
You'd have to put up a teaser if you died.
Right.
Okay. This question I've received a few times, and that's just because I play so much Necro. The way the Mage's teleport works is like better than any other movement skill. I can go up mountains, down mountains, stuff like that. Why is that?
I mean, a lot of it's just theming, right? Like, it's the.
It has nothing to do with it being like a new node, you know. So it's like, it's got like better performance or something. No, nothing like that.
No. It's just like, okay, think of if you're like, I guess I'll use Rogue Shift as like an example. Like you're gonna run really fast, like a short burst or whatever like that.
Yep.
Having that go down a cliff face doesn't make a lot of sense.
Okay, I understand.
So it's
but a teleport with your minions up, down, it doesn't matter the elevations, theming wise.
Yeah. Does it not do that?
It does do that.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's the big difference. I think transplant and teleport should behave the same. Do they not?
It's like, I don't want you to like fix it 'cause it's so good. I mean, basically the skeleton mage, where you like when you cast a skeleton mage, you know, you cast
portals you.
Yep, and it portals you. It's like the best movement skill in the game. I can't even describe it until you play it. It's like, you know, you never get caught on any rocks or any weird stuff. You can go up, down, even if you can't see, you know, like there's just a mountain to my right and I just click off screen and I like jump up there. It functions. It functions really well. And in my head, it's always, well, it's because it's new, so it probably like has the latest, you know, and teleport can't do that.
Interesting. I didn't know they were different. I thought they were the same. They should be the same. All the ones that teleport you, like transplant, teleport, the mage one, the smite, descend, they should all have the same limitations. Those ones.
Rich in chat right now says it is so good, but Necro needs more survivability love. Yeah, if you played, let's just say you like you're using teleport over and over and over again, and then you're like, let me try this version of, you know, teleport on the Acolyte. It's night and day.
Is it now?
It is. Like we could test it right now somewhere you can't go.
You know what I think? I actually think I know what the problem is, or why it's happening like that. The targeting limitations it's getting from Summon Skeleton, and Summon Skeleton doesn't have the same targeting limitations as the Transplant or Teleport abilities. And so it's just being like, well, you could summon the skeleton there so you can teleport there.
Oh.
That's probably what's happening. Because what most of the movement abilities do is they try and draw a line to the target location along the ground, along the nav mesh. And it like, if you have to make a turn that's too big to get there, it's just like, no, you can't get there, and it just stops basically.
Oh, so since I can summon a skeleton there, I can move there.
Yeah. Do
not fix that if it's not right.
Hey, I've told you over and over again, I don't take notes on stream.
Oh, perfect. Good. Hey,
Reimer, you want to write that one down for me?
Reimer, don't write it down. Don't write it down. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. You want it to feel good. That's right.
Yeah, you do want it to feel good.
Yeah, so
it's one of those things where, like, so I think that the most egregious offender of something like this ever has to be D2 teleport. You know,
you
like,
just hold the button down and you're just friggin'.
You don't even have to hold the button down. Just, you know, you like you put it on your right click, you move your cursor outside the game window, you let go, you bring your cursor back in the game window, and it's like numlock trick for teleport, and
it's exactly,
and you just go.
Weaver's Will for Acolyte 13 Weavers.
If you find the lightning staff.
Oh yeah, I got you.
I want it. The lightning meteor staff. Hit me up.
All right. Oh yeah, I should be looking stuff for you.
No, just that. Just that.
Just that. I found 1,000 of those things.
I know. They're not that rare. Someone asked, is Void Cleave as a movement skill working as intended? I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. Give us Barbarian. Yeah, so Barbarian is one of those things that's like, we had a tough time not having a Barbarian mastery in the game. There's several times where it came very close to including it, and it almost took the place of one of the Primalist masteries, except Druid was the last one missing, and we were just like, Druid we feel is more important than Barbarian, so it didn't make the cut.
I obviously don't know. I don't work for 11th Hour Games, but if anytime people are like, what do you think the next mastery that's going to come out? I always say Barbarian, but they would never use the word Barbarian. It'd be like Viking. I always say it'll be like a Viking class.
Why can't we use Barbarian?
Would you?
What I don't see the problem in it, but I don't name things.
I mean, EHG normally, doesn't directly use the same terminology. I think let's Barbarian,
Paladin, Necro, Sorcerer instead of Sorceress.
Yeah, but it's a Mage.
Druid, Druid. Like that's 4 out of the classes.
Yeah, I guess
Assassin,
right.
Amazon, Barbarian.
I just thought you'd put your own twist on it, so I just figured it was like, I always say Viking. It'll be like a Viking class.
I mean, maybe,
but you're right, a Barbarian would work.
I don't know. I actually really like that idea. I hadn't heard that idea before, and I love it.
Perfect. We also always joke that we know Judd's favorite skill is Meteor. That's why Meteor always gets buffs. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Come
you're
on,
not
Judd,
wrong.
I know you're out there. That's fine, though. I like Meteor, too. It's what I'm working on, actually.
Yeah.
My other build. It's like, oh, a Meteor belt's coming out. Judd picked that one. He liked that one.
It's less that Judd doesn't usually actually come and be like, all right, we got to buff Meteor, let's do that, or anything like that.
I figured as much.
But whenever someone pitches an idea that's related to Meteor, Judd will kind of poke a little bit harder. He'll be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Hey, so you want to make that idea? I think it's a good idea. You should make that idea happen.
Yeah.
And so he'll
Meteor.
He'll grease the wheels for Meteor-related ideas a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be like, oh, a lightning meteor. Oh, a crit meteor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then what is it? The Weaver's Will. You can get another +5 to Meteor. I like it. Meteor's my favorite spell too, so I like Judd more now. There you go. See?
Oh, I love Meteor builds. They're great.
You're using a Meteor build right now.
Oh, Meteor was like, that was my go-to, it's everyone's go-to D2 starter build was, right? Or some Sword by Blizz. But Meteor and Frozen Orb was always my go-to. It's really like Frozen Orb and Fireball is really what it ends up being, because you weave the fireballs into the Frozen Orbs. But Meteor's there too if you're gonna do like meth farming.
Oh, I like this comment. It's amazing how you teach Diablo on quality of life and game content. That is quite a compliment right there.
I appreciate it. There's a lot, like I don't want to understate.
I can talk. You don't have to. Well, I guess I'm on your channel. I don't want to overstate it. But people ask me all the time, like, hey, you play a lot of D4 lately. Like, what do you like about D4? What do you like about last Epoch? And I always say one thing that is like a fact. Like, this isn't even opinion based. Like, last Epoch is an action RPG. It's got a map overlay. It's got detailed crafting. It's got organized stash tabs. It's got a loot filter. So a lot of the classical action RPG elements you see in these styles of games are absent in the other one.
Yeah, there's a few things like that. Yeah, and I don't think it's possible to like strictly say one's better, but like it is really nice to hear people enjoying playing Last Epoch and the things that we've decided to do like that they're appreciative of and things. So that's really cool. I do enjoy that, but I don't like putting down the other games. For sure.
And then I also say on the flip side, like, I mean, at one point I think they had 10 million concurrent players and the servers were buttery smooth. Like, so, I mean, there's some other stuff to it.
They've got a lot of experience managing high server counts. Like, yeah, they're really, really good at that.
There's a lot of members of my community in the chat right now. They said we like putting down Wolson. We're not talking about Wolson during this stream, okay, Mr. Skeezy? Good old Wolson. What else?
Any plans on giving Necro or Beastmaster the option to set minion formation so they can move in front of the character?
I love that idea.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that's like, oh my god, it'd be great. We actually briefly touched on trying to do something like that, and it was one of those things where like realized pretty quickly that there was some problems that we had to fix some other things first before it was possible to even do properly, and it got sidelined and pushed back and all that sort of stuff.
In D4, the Necromancer has the Book of the Dead, and I thought that's what they were gonna do, where it's like you can have your skeleton defenders and they have a sword and shield and they stay close and defend you, and then you've got your warriors that are more aggressive, and it's like it's nothing like that. But I love that idea. It's like we're not worried about survivability right now. Like, I want them in aggressive mode or something like that.
Yeah, I think I personally think that the place to put that is actually in the skill tree screen, and have like a little thing on the side that's like, pick the aggressiveness, like this skill can summon these 4 minions, pick their stance that's going to be for these minions or something like that. Because there's
that would work.
A lot of different types of minions you can get, and the UI when you're actually when you're playing actively, like fighting and stuff like that, the UI is there's no really good place to put that in the primary HUD when you're playing.
Teaser time.
Oh yeah, let's do a teaser, sure. So teaser.
Beekeeper Meteor. I saw Beekeeper Meteor. Yes!
Meteor.
A Meteor. Oh my gosh, it's probably already been tabled. Judd, take down that note. You got this.
All right, so
that would actually be a fun skill. A meteor drops and then releases a bunch of bees, and it's like a hive drops. Oh, that is such a good idea.
Well,
sorry, go on.
So someone made the mistake of accidentally dropping someone made a long time ago, I've said this before, but someone made a mistake and caused Wolf to get triggered when Meteor was cast instead of the explosion. So meteor would come down, and it would, instead of an explosion happening, a summon wolf would happen, and they'd be like a wolf. So like wolf meteor became a
meteor.
Skill. Yeah,
it shows it's possible.
Oh yeah,
Like them.
yeah. Meteor consists of 4 skills by default that actually chain into each other to make meteor happen, and you can replace anything along that chain. All right. Okay. So here is I'm gonna bring something up. I'm gonna bring a couple images up that I'm gonna flick between. So I know I mentioned a couple times we've been talking about like performance and polish and optimization, things like that. And so here's a screenshot from the game right now. This is what it looks like in 0.91. I'm pretty sure this is what it already looks like. It's not, if not, it's very similar. And we've been working on different ways to improve the visual fidelity and make it look more awesomer. Yes, that's an official technical term. So here's sort of an example of
more awesomer.
Of the types of effects and sort of things that we're developing to be able to include. So this, like,
now, do you know when you make this, is this like, you know, across the whole game, or is this like every time you got to make it individually per zone? Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's certain parts of this that would be blanket changes and certain parts of this that are individual changes. So both.
Got it.
To make it look this nice. And this is sort of a test area. And I've got another set of images from like actually really close by to this physically location, but just another look to see the types of things. I'll show that later. But yeah, like this is a big focus for us right now, is you know, just improving the quality of seemingly mundane things like how the ground looks, you know. And it's a lot of those little things that are gonna add up to, I think, the quality level for the core gameplay features that we want for 1.0. Yeah,
that looks good.
So, you know,
you didn't see that today for the first time, did you?
Yeah, this screenshot I did. I may have seen it yesterday, actually. Was that yesterday? When did I'll look. When was the sent? Because we were talking about yesterday. Nope, this is today. First time I saw it was today. Will there be a major balance pass for 1.0? Yeah, I'd say there's a pretty clear chance that'll happen. Oh my god, I missed like several things that are awesome. Spike, thank you for your resub. 7 months in a row, that's awesome. I don't know how I missed that. And Agent Frank 16 has subbed and also has gifted a sub to Exathius. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that. Glad to have you with us, hanging out.
Love it. Got new introduction. Drever? Hello, big ARPG fan here, but never tried last Epoch. Does this game have seasons? If so, do they have a team, and how long do they last?
Sorry, say that again?
Does this game have seasons? If
seasons.
So,
seasons.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If so, how long do they last?
So we're calling them cycles. They'll be initially a little bit longer. But it'll basically be like ladder resets, and it'll be on patch timing. They'll be roughly similar. The plan is to have them be roughly similar to PoE right now. They might be longer though. We might have like I know we've talked about split seasons as an option, where it's like a 2-patch cycle where it's technically like one season, and like there's like a ladder reset in the middle. I know we've talked about having there's lots of things we've talked about doing that are a little bit different. There's lots of great suggestions that come in all the time that we talk about. Like we get tons of community set suggestions around this type of topic, and we pay attention to those and discuss them. But yeah, we are doing cycles. I'd say there's a very high probability that how those manifest specifically will evolve over time. So like we might go into 1.0 being like, all right, we're gonna do a new cycle every patch, and that's like there's let's say there's roughly 3 or 4 of those a year. And that sort of stuff, and then we're like we get 6 months down the line and we're like, this isn't really working, let's adjust this. So I can't say for certain how that's going to look, because a lot of what we a lot of the details of things like that get adjusted on the fly based on like what's happening in the game, what's happening in the community, what's happening from feedback, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, their frequency will be up for changing, I think. So I don't want to give a hard number on that.
LV says, Druid over Barb is blasphemy, Mike.
Sorry.
Terrible.
Sorry.
It's all Mike's fault.
My bad.
A barbarian with enhanced Thorns ability would be fun.
Yeah, we've been really cautious with Thorns style abilities.
Well, D4, there's a lot, like Thorns is very prevalent, so I'm sure you're going to get a lot of those types of questions. They're really strong.
Yeah. It's yeah, I think it's something that we'll probably look to explore a little bit later. And like we're touching on it. I know there was a Thorns build that showed up a little while ago that was pretty bonkers. I think it may have got nerfed into oblivion. But there was a fun one that I saw where someone was able to like stand at the start of Spire monoliths and just like wait for the Spire to shoot, stand in the Spire, and the Spire would just pop, and they would open the portal
and it would just die.
Yeah.
I know this question's been asked fairly regularly. Any update on Numlock trick coming to the game? No update. Sorry. Okay.
There's no plans to take it out. If people are wondering that.
Okay.
I know people have been calling for like official version of it, so you don't have to use Numlock, like right click on the skill ability or something and it like toggles it to autocast mode, or things like that. Which are not unreasonable. It's not something we're discussing yet. Oh my god, I'm fighting all these bosses and I don't need to.
At Last Epoch game, would the LE Barbarian look like, or what would it look like? Because you said before dual wielding two-handed weapons is probably a no-no.
Yeah, dual wielding two-handed weapons is probably a no-no. This is something that I thought was actually really cool. I don't think it works for our game because of how we do equipment, but I did really like the arsenal ability that D4 has for their bar, where like it's got extra items equipped. I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
I think that's a really neat design space to be able to explore. So I was, and that's weapon swap is one of those features that like, oh my god, I want weapon swap so bad. It was.
I don't know why that won't go in.
I've been very vocal about me very handily losing that debate, and I lost that debate hard.
I wonder if it's because of like snapshotting or something like that, or I don't know.
There were a lot of really good reasons.
Yeah.
And I concede the point, but
You're fine.
I'm still salty. I'm allowed to be salty. Meteors!
How's your resistances? Better? You still have no necrotic resistance.
No, it's 72!
Oh, nice!
My void is 22.
Yeah, that's okay. At least it's not 0. I think my poison's... My poison's 40.
99, 31, 58, 74, 82, 72, 22. It's my cold and my necrotic, or my cold and my void are hurting.
Ah, you're pretty good.
After this, I want to slip over to a dungeon, try and hammer that out. Let's see if there's some questions in chat that I missed. I do apologize that I've been bad with chat today. If you've got a really burning question that I missed, please repost it.
I'm trying to look at anything that's been for you or me.
Is any teasers for set item changes or new sets? I don't have any teasers for that yet. I'm sorry. That's not been. Unless someone squeaks it in, just without saying anything, it's not planned for 9.2. I don't think.
LV at last Epoch game. Buff frozen orb, make it feel good. We don't write down any suggestions during the stream. You need to go over to the forums and post it there, and one of the EHG team members will look at it. We appreciate your feedback.
It's almost like you've listened to my stream once or twice.
It's so funny. I've heard you say that at least 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I think.
I just feel bad because I just don't have the. I read so many suggestions. I'll be one of the people going to read it. I read so many suggestions, and I'm so visual with things that if I don't write it down, it's just I forget about it.
Yeah.
And so
don't worry, I know all these people asking these questions. You don't need it. It's okay.
I don't have time to manage the stream, play, and answer questions, and write down notes on things that I think sound cool during the stream.
Okay, I will write down what Ironforged wrote. At Aaron, how about a meteor skill that when it lands, it turns into a temporary golem and smashes stuff? Now we're talking.
Well, I mean,
and if you're wearing Aaron's will, it makes 3 golems.
Avalanche has a node that does that.
Yes, it does.
So go ahead.
I took a picture of the golemites or whatever they're called.
Yep.
I was like, has anybody ever seen this minion before? Because I think I've had over 1,500 hours in the game, and I was like, there's a minion in this game I've never seen before.
Yep. It's sneaky.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
It's like you can make a random minion from Avalanche. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's the closest thing to elementals we have. And that's... Yeah. I think if we're going to see more elemental golems and things like if we're going to see more elemental golems, it'll probably be Primalist based, would be my guess.
Okay, here's a question for you, Mike. At last Epoch game, it is remarkable that Ellie is always encouraging players to experiment and try new builds. With that said, could you share any development about dual type damage, void plus fire as an example?
Do you mean like abilities that have those two things on them, or builds that utilize void and fire damage?
I think he's just using that as an example, poison, fire. I don't know, like that style.
Yeah, I mean, so
dual damage.
There are lots of skills that have dual damage on them already, and there's lots like simple, even like Fireball has a node that will turn into a Fire Lightning 50/50 skill. I think that the focus on there's as a class theme, element like elemental as a theme, fire, lightning, cold, is really deep rooted in sorcerer. But it really pushes you to have one element specifically, and it doesn't like having. It doesn't like doing dual element stuff so much. Like you look at the passive tree, and it's like fire, 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 cold, 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 lightning, lightning, lightning. Like it's really like pick an element. And then sometimes we get these Dragon Mage, Dragon Breath, and Mirror Breath nodes that are like try to help you kind of do multi-element stuff, but they're just not good enough to really do it well enough, you know. And so I think there's definitely room for that multi-element theming to come out still, and we've taken note of that. So like I think you'll see more emphasis on that in the future. Not a ton. Not like it's not like we're switching hard to having that be like the primary thing or anything. But like I think there's room to grow in that category.
I don't think I've ever seen this question before. Will it be possible to darken the rest area for monos where we're standing?
I actually answered that one in text already. But yeah, we don't have any plans for that. There is a bug that causes it to be super bright sometimes, and I said that, and then he replied again later on that they're talking about, no, this is like the proper visual, darken it even more.
Okay.
I don't think we have plans for that right now. I think that could be a cool. So you know how there's like it's going back to talking about guild stuff, and one of the big things about guild stuff, and some people are at player housing in a similar vein, is having a customizable space to interact with and everything like that. And one of the big things that you do in your player housing in PoE is customizing, and like that's where you access your atlas and everything like that, or map device, sorry. And
you're talking a clan hideout? Oh
no, not specifically, but like that is like, I guess a feature that gets requested a lot. But what more I'm getting to is I could see customizing your version of MRest, what's it called, Echo of a World, with the zone we're in now, customizing this zone as a possible feature. Like that's something that I think would be really cool, because you only ever see this zone like in your own customized version of it type thing. It's not a public zone. This is not a public zone.
Okay. I'm just throwing it out there that if this, like, let's say clans came to the game and you join the clan, so now when you finish the Echo, you come to the clan's version of End of the World, or however you want to say it.
Okay.
And that can be customized through MTX and achievements and awards, and there's a ranking system. Oh man, that would be...
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Awesome. That would be amazing.
Just to be super clear, that is not in the works right now. But...
Reimer, put that on the list.
But I do agree that'd be awesome, and I'd love to see
that. Would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I like that. Dude, you're killing these dragons so fast.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think it's me.
It is you. Get them, golems. Oh man, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think that that's
really
and
cool.
that's like I've seen people ask for things like that on forums and stuff. Like this is that's the sort of stuff that's like, it's really cool, it's really fun, it's really interesting, and I'd love to do stuff like that. It's not a, like, it's one of those things, I say it's not a priority feature. It's not it doesn't affect gameplay. Like there's no impact on functional gameplay mechanics that has, but it's awesome, right? And so like, where do you put that in a priority? You ready for a Dargon fight?
What is it? Yeah.
You got Andrew Tilly asking, do you think we'll see updated character sheet by 1.0? We recently passed the 2-year anniversary since you first unveiled its early mock-up image. Oh my god, it's been 2 years. No. Wait, is this the in or out one? Crap. I wasn't looking at my screen like, oh, do I go in or out of this one? Yeah, it's
my golems are gonna push it all the way in the corner, which by the way, it drives me crazy about this fight, how easy you could move this guy.
I know.
I know.
Me too.
Your source can push him into the corner if you wanted to.
Yeah. That's what I forget to say. Anything that bothers you about the game, I guarantee it bothers me more.
I know. Like, how many times have you heard, like, with a hitbox for Lagon or something like that? You like a million times. I like when you say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. How Lagon used to be. You're like, it still needs work. It's way better than it used to be.
It is way better than it used to be. I
know.
I would still really like to. It takes so long to do, but make a take a character like a summoner or something that's just like some character that has a ton of trouble with the boss fight. It's like it's impossible to do the boss fight with this class, and just like equip basic attack and go to town and do it, because it's doable with basic attack.
It's possible.
But I don't have 6 hours to spare.
Right? Lemon Drizzle Cakes, last Epoch. Not sure if this was asked already, but is 1.0 still coming this year? There is not an official release date announced, but the current goal is this year. Correct? Is that
yes?
Correct?
I was trying to point at you and be like, yes. Okay. I pointed the wrong way.
Yes. It's coming this year. I have confidence. They got this.
So it's really interesting. In if you've ever been on a voice call with someone in like Discord or Slack or Facebook Messenger or FaceTime or any of those voice call things, the image that you see of yourself is a mirrored image of what everyone else sees of you.
Yeah. So it's always the opposite, right?
Yeah. So that when you're looking at yourself in the voice call and you move your hand to the right, for you, that you looking at you, it moves to the right. But like for like it moves to your personal right from your perspective, but your in-screen version of you is left. If that makes any sense. And then when you are it looks like you're looking in a mirror. Right?
Exactly. So you always got to point the opposite direction of where they actually are.
Well,
yep.
In a video call. And so like right now when I look at the preview image, the preview image for streaming platforms doesn't flip the camera like that, which is why I always have so much fun. So like when I'm looking at the preview image, I'm like, okay, Aaron's up to my top right, so I'm going to point up to my top right, and it's not pointing at you at all. I'm pointing to the top left right now, so I have to point to my top left to point at you in the top right, and it's like having that.
There you go.
Having that
still throwing you off.
Yeah, having that reverse happen in my brain is I struggle with that pretty bad.
Last Epoch game. Seasons sound great. Love the idea of new mechanics or items that will further develop the gameplay and cycle. Will it be like PoE with new characters each time?
Yeah, so we do like new cycle. You want to start in the new cycle? Yes, it's a fresh stash, fresh characters. You're starting from scratch. It's like you just bought the game brand new and you've got nothing. Start over. Go have fun. We do know that there's a lot of people that get discouraged by restarting and still want to play the new stuff. And so we're trying to make it a little bit more friendly in that not all of the I got rid of a sentence. Nice. Not all of the content, actually most of the content, at least initially, will be rolled out simultaneously. We plan to anyways. This is still a little up in the air, but the current plan is to roll content out simultaneously for new cycle and old cycle for the most part. Like there might be certain elements that don't.
So the idea would be if you want to take part in the new ladder, you're required to play the new season.
Exactly. And there might be some things. So like maybe we'll say like this is like, so none of this is official, none of this is real. It's just examples I'm taking from this stuff. Let's say for example there was a new cycle and we implemented Delve. I'm just gonna use PoE term just so like we implement Delve as a new gameplay mechanic, and we add Shaco, Grandfather, and Windforce as new items to the game. So if maybe that Delve mechanic gets rolled out to everyone right away. Okay. And those 3 new uniques are ladder only uniques. They're cycle only uniques, and you've got to play the new cycle to find those new items. And then like these other 6 items are for everyone, or something like that. Maybe there's like some pieces of it are ladder only things, or maybe all of it's ladder only, or maybe none of it's ladder only. But like I'd say likely initially at least it'll be some split of ladder only and non-ladder only stuff. And then
because
like,
you want to give the player a reason to start a new character instead of using their already level 100 character, I'm sure. Yeah,
a lot of it is like, hey, there's cool stuff to play on the new ladder, and it gets the economy rolling for the people who are playing Merchant's Guild in the new ladder, and like all these sorts of things that it's because as like a new player coming in, usually the best time to join is at the start of a new ladder, or slightly before, so you get used to the game, and then you can start in earnest at the start of the new ladder, or something like that. But we want that. We really want to have that new ladder environment and experience be possible and to thrive and be interesting and exciting and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't want to just like, because there's a lot of people that are very turned off by the having to start a new character. We don't want to cut them out. And so there's going to be some experimentation in finding a balance there, I think.
Yeah, because the balance is what brings the player back to start the new season, while simultaneously, the casual that doesn't have the time or the want to start a new character to do so.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting being on chat with you because you read comments and you realize how far behind you are when you see what people are talking about.
Yeah. I'm doing a really bad job of it today. I'm letting you kind of take the reins on the questions here.
No, I got it. There was one on here that said, gonna spam the forums for the B meteor. It just sounds too good.
Yeah, go for it.
Any new game systems coming before 1.0? The idea is adding to existing systems, but no overall new systems, with the exception of factions, correct?
Yeah, and yeah, because like factions it's not a new challenge to overcome. It's not a new gameplay action to take as far as like there's not a new like dungeon to go into for it. There's not a new monolith to go into it. There's not new gameplay environment to explore for the challenge to complete these things. Like it's designed to integrate with what's already there. So it's kind of debatable if that counts as new content or not. I think it does.
Yeah.
But I know that would be challenged by a lot of people.
Has it been decided or confirmed if we're getting a new dungeon before 1.0?
No.
No? Okay.
There was no, it hasn't been decided or confirmed. No, we're not getting one.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, just to be clear, I was answering the
fine.
question that you asked.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping your guys' plan for sets is an augmentation system designed around a dungeon. You don't have to say yes or no. You don't have to blank. I'm just like a blanket statement. I think that would be really, really fun. Just like how you can augment a unique to turn into a legendary in one. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
For a dungeon.
I will say that here's what I'll give you. The thing we're going with was.
Oh, here we go. Let's hear it.
I never thought I thought it was. I didn't think it'd be possible, and I'd heard the suggestion before, and it was sort of like when we decided for it at the meeting, someone was like, I can't remember who said it, but someone kind of said it as a joke, and then someone else was like, I mean, we could do that, and everyone's like, are you sure? It's like, okay, well, if we can do that, can we do that? Like, let's do that.
That's how I felt when you're like, we could have you have like multiple golems. I'm like, wait a second. Take a second.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like nerfed golems versus a bunch of little ones? No, just big ones, but you got to give something up. I was like, okay, that's it. Like that was the idea.
Yeah.
It's done. Let's bake it out from there. No, that is okay. So you're not telling me anything, but you could tell me you were surprised that it was greenlit.
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna accept that.
Yeah. All the best features that we end up with are I'm always surprised or get greenlit because I'm like the item faction system. We were like a long time ago. We're like, can we do both? No, there's no way we can do both. And like we abandoned doing both years ago.
It's like we can do it. We have the technology.
Yeah. It's always the same person that like says like, no, we can do that. and they,
by the way, anybody,
if
we missed your question, feel free to just put it on the bottom of chat. I will read it. Oh, I like Mike. I like this question. I didn't tell this person to ask this question. On the subject of golems, with Aaron's will making you unable to use summon skeleton, was there ever a consideration to make the skeleton tree affect golem in some manner? Oh man, that would be awesome. That way putting points into summon skeletons actually does something for golems outside of +3 skeletons.
Outside of plus, yeah. I don't think that ever came up. I don't remember.
I mean, I couldn't believe what I already got, so I didn't try and push for anything more, to be quite honest.
I think we may have discussed it a little bit as like, is this a problem that you're kind of burning a slot for golems, that you're burning one of your skills? Like this is kind of one of the costs. You're paying this skill slot to get that extra.
Is it worth giving up a skill to get a singular full size extra golem? But what he's saying, or she, is that, which I mean, this is, you put on the item,
yeah,
and then like the skill tree changes, or no, just have to have it in the skill tree already, like off in a corner or something. Yeah, I don't know. That would be awesome though.
Yeah, it would be hard to it's hard to quantify, but the I think the complexity would be extremely high there. And because there's so many other reasons, I think the reason why, because this did come up about like, is this a problem that you are burning a skill tree specialization slot for having that extra golem? As like, is this a problem? And we decided no, it wasn't a problem, partially because most of the extra golems you can earn are from outside of the tree, and there is and it's one full golem from the tree, so it's sort of like you're never like the amount you can get, there's never like a fraction. You're never like, I'm like most of the way to the next one, and if I could take the tree, I just get that little bit extra. It's like it's always a full golem for the whole tree, and transplant is a pretty sweet no point skill still. So like we're like looking at like are there options to put on your bar as like a non-specialized skill that are still good to have on your bar as necromancer?
Yeah. So you could put on like, well, you don't get skeletons, but you could put on transplant. You get a free movement skill on your bar, right?
Or like even just like the base of bone curse is pretty great.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so there's options for things you can do still, as like unspecialized skills. That's like, if you really want to push that golem that hard, if you want to put all those eggs in that basket, you can, and have it not be terrible. Do you have any plans of adding endgame content to actual world maps? Or at the moment, you never go back to these maps after you go through them once in the story. Yeah, this is this was one of the original endgame systems that we had planned in Kickstarter. Actually, was going back to maps and having them be scaled up and having them be special challenges and things like that. And there was other endgame systems that interacted with that we never really unveiled or explored at all. And all of that did get scrapped.
Gone.
Yeah, gone. But I think there's still room for things like that to happen, especially when the campaign finishes. When we get those extra chapters that aren't in the game yet, and those get added in post 1.0. Like finished for the main storyline finished. I think there's more opportunity for kind of like higher level chapters to still be relevant a little bit, without needing to scale them. But it could be possible still, and I think it's actually good that we have that as a like an opportunity, and we kind of tried to bring that back a little bit. With the keys, with the dungeons. So like there's this like the server has endgame content, and you have to go into a spot in the world to get there and everything. Now you can just portal there, so it doesn't really feel like it is as much, and the lack of continuous open world, which we're not planning on having, kind of limits the feel you can have from these spaces in the campaign, I guess. That's what I'm getting at. If there was, the whole thing would have to be, like have like small quests and missions to actually go into the world with specific challenges and goals, because the goal in the campaign normally is just go to the next zone, advance the story type thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think there's room for us to explore it in the future, but we don't have any specific plans for it at the moment.
Okay. How many more teasers do you have?
1, 2, 3.
3?
4.
Okay, we need
arguably 5.
Oh my gosh.
Should we do one right now? Let's do one right now.
All right, let's do one right now. While you're doing that, I'm going to read the next question.
I can save some for next week, too.
That's a terrible idea. I'm going to bring fresh ones. How about a radio feature? Like you have a list of songs in-game. You could choose what track you want to listen to. It was in RuneScape. Like once you get to a new zone to unlock it, would that be possible?
I think that's an awesome idea. I love it. I don't know if it's possible. I don't see why not. But I don't know about the audio system to really tell you for sure. Well, I love that idea.
If you have a suggestion, head over to the forums and leave it in a post.
Yeah, there you go. Here, I'm gonna toss this one up real quick. It's another comparison shot, environmental comparison shot. So this is the old one, just a frame of reference, and here's the new one. Yeah, trying to show off the lighting stuff a bunch there.
I mean, it's a big difference.
Yeah. And it's I want to make it clear as well, this is more developing the tools. This is sort of like screenshots for tool development in order to hand those tools off to level design so they can create the environments better themselves. And let's just here. Speaking of this sort of thing, here's
okay.
This video is a little choppy because it's changing a lot of stuff on the fly. But here's a little video clip that I hope will play. Yeah, that's got it's the same zone, and then there's just like a new graphics profile is being loaded each time, and you can see like the like significant difference that happens every time it jumps, and every time there's like it freezes for a second and jumps, it's the exact same area, and all the models are the same. The only thing that's changing is like lighting and graphics profiles. And so these are the types of things we're working on and exploring as far as polish goes. And this polish and this level of new tools and new things that we're bringing to our level design team to be able to work with is I think gonna make the environments really stand out and be unique and look cool, and like even be able to take the same environment and like we were just talking about earlier with like going back into the campaign and like replaying things, but like maybe there's like a quest that goes back to the campaign, and you can evoke time travel or a shift that happened in the timeline or something by changing the lighting really heavily with what's playing right now with those big fire flares that's happening. Maybe it's like, oh, something changed and suddenly the world's on fire and like it's the same zone, nothing's changed except the lighting's really different and it feels new. I think it's really cool.
But when you talk about like randomized events, it's like this
is
thing
not what
pops up. No, it's not like that.
This is not what I'm talking about with that. No.
Okay, that would be cool though.
I mean that would be sweet. Yeah, like okay, so we're talking about things that would be sweet. Yeah, like a random event where you're walking along and there's like a witch sitting on the ground and she like cackles
starts
at
raining
you. And,
fire. And,
yeah, and like the whole lighting of the zone changes and suddenly it looks like there's and then like a demon starts crawling out of a pit in the ground that she opens up, and it's like the whole lighting and environment changes while it's there, and then the boss fight ends and it goes back to normal. So that would be amazing. That would be super cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the type of technology we're trying to develop for the graphics and lighting systems so that we can do things like that if we wanted to. But that
looks awesome.
Yeah.
That looks awesome right there.
Yeah.
Star Wars kind of like Battlefield. Yeah, that is cool. Question on seasons. Will anything carry over or cycles? Sorry.
No. Oh, no. Like your MTX, like visual cosmetic MTX, cosmetic MTX.
Okay.
I just feel compelled to say it like 6 times.
No pay to win.
Yeah.
I like that lighting one. That's pretty cool. Almost caught up.
Yeah. Oh man, we're so close to the end of the stream. I'm just gonna. We're going hard here. Let's continue on a theme. There's also some weather system stuff we've been working on. So here is a rainstorm that starts, and you can see the world reacting to the rainstorm as it picks up, and there's puddles forming, and then the rain starts showing up in the puddles. Yeah, I really like this one. It's subtle, it's not huge, but like the fact that you can have the zone change as you're playing, I think is really cool.
Okay, question now.
Yeah.
If the player started moving, is there like splashes on their feet when they walk?
I don't think so in this example, but
That would be awesome.
I think that I think that's part of the reason why they're not walking right now. It's because that's
Okay.
it's just to not just make it clear that that's not happening. But yeah,
Okay.
I think this is the sort of stuff like that we've got people working on the polish and like small like this. They're not really gigantic like headline news changes and improvements and things like that, but there's a lot of room for tons of little changes that I think are just gonna bring Epoch into 1.0 with like just better and better quality, and that's a lot of what we're pushing right now.
Well, I mean, you put all of this together, yeah, maybe individually one thing isn't huge for like a season or cycle, but if you put them all together, exactly that polish, that quality, that being in conversations with all the big boys, like for sure, like this is the kind of stuff that's absolutely needed. I love that.
Yeah.
And we need more golems, because that's for sure required. Any plans for WASD movement?
Nothing specific, but I would really like to get it in because it's basically just remapping a controller input that we already have.
Yep.
Like realistically, that's all it is. So it's one of those. This is one of those things that like it's doable, it's possible. We don't have the time to assign someone to it right now. The like getting those core gameplay quality polish in there, that sort of stuff. Like that's what we need to do, and it pains me to say it, but because it does fall into, for some people, an accessibility feature, which is really important to us. And we are working on that sort of stuff. Like I know there was a question about translation that I saw earlier that I didn't answer. I'm sorry. I think it was asking if there was going to be a German translation, and
yes,
I believe there is going to be a German translation. And I said last week that it was going to be eFigs plus something, and I was wrong. I apologize. Italian is not on the initial list, but the others are in eFigs. So eFigs. And there's something else too. There's Andrew Chili, I know he has the answer to this. I'm sorry to call you out like that, but I know you've got the right answer because I answered it for you. And there was an interview, I think, on the 9th of December last year that we had that the right answer was said. I just don't remember what they all are. Sorry. But I think it might be the same languages that are in the, because you can pick your chat language when you first log in, and I think it might just be all of those languages. I'm sorry.
Any plans, talks, roundtables around a potential futuristic era?
Yeah.
Sharks with frickin' laser beams.
Yeah, we've talked about it for sure.
Yep.
I think it's one of those things that it's really good that we have that available as a thing to explore when we've run out of ideas for other things.
Cycle 37.
Yeah.
Futuristic era.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like I think that's one of those things where it's like it's not, we haven't sat down and said there's no way we'll ever do it or anything like that. It's more of a when we need it to keep things fresh, we'll look at that. But it's not something in our like initial vision for the game. Yeah.
It's in the back pocket.
Yeah,
right?
it's in that back pocket.
We need something.
Yeah.
Petition to change Aaron's will to Ron's will. That's a good one. We need to do that for sure. You done messed up.
Whoops, my bad.
I mean...
Okay, I got a cool one here.
Another. Is this the last one?
No. I want to just... Okay. Oh my gosh, the positioning's wrong. What? How did I ruin this? Here we go. I'm fixing it. I'm locking it. I'm transitioning it over. Our faces are going to be cut off. Go high. I'll go low.
Do it.
So this is... we are working on... And this is a very early render still from a video clip. We are working on a fully CGI cinematic trailer for the game. It's in early stages right now. So there's like like a story piece cinematic.
So this is you're playing the campaign and something happens and then it transitions to this.
I don't know. If I had to guess, I haven't seen it. But if I had to guess from what I've heard, I think it's more of a either it's like not in the game at all, and it's more of a like this will be on YouTube and you can see it type thing to like learn about the game type thing, or it'll be like you turn the game on and the first time you start the game, this is like the intro to the game of like kick off everything before you even like get to character select. That's what I would guess it is, but I don't know. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
It is early, and I've got a second still from that as well that I'll share. Because this one's the one I really like, my favorite.
That little trailer image is for sure the ancient era. You could see the chains in the background for like the little floating flying city thing. There's some Easter eggs in there.
I think you'll see this more, even more there.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, those that's
ancient era for sure.
Very early.
Okay.
I was told to stress that this is early. It's in like test footage stage. Yeah.
Well,
I think this is something that we've actually like gone out of house to do.
When we had Kyle, the lore master from EHG, on my podcast, and we went through everything, he talked about publicly the ancient era, kind of moving that way in the campaign, and the explanation for this, like, floating city you see that is tied down by chains. I'm gonna guess this has something to do with that, obviously. So that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I know he's been really involved with the content of that video. Yeah, so we're at time. I'm gonna go a little bit over here. See if there's any questions that we just
any
missed.
final questions. Put them in the bottom.
Yeah.
Let's see if I got anything over here. I got all the questions asked on my end. Oh, I got one. Colored beams. So like you've talked about functionality. You can't just have a loot filter where there's a million beams, but like what if it's like one or two? Like, hey, if hybrid health drops, I get to collect. I can select a color for this beam affix, something like that in loot filter.
We actually have talked. We actually recently had a meeting about loot filter changes.
Okay.
Selecting custom beams is not something we've decided to add.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then anything about future sockets. And I know you're going to say the crafting system is sockets outside of crafting.
Yes. No, nothing's. We don't have any plans for sockets at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, and when we do eventually, so sockets is one of those things that's, I would call that a core expectation of most ARPG players, to have a socket style system somewhere in the game.
Yep.
Whether that's like PoE's is with their skill system, it's wildly different than D2's, but it's still kind of that similar socket style system, mechanically at least, like of like that functional process of taking two items and combining them together and having them actually be physical things, and all that sort of stuff. And we've toyed with slotting that in a few places, socketing that into the game in a few places, but none of them have really come together the way we wanted them to. And
got it.
I'd be surprised if one doesn't find its way in. I know there's a couple sort of back burner plans that have continued to float around with regards to sockets or socket style system. Maybe even one of them something that was named a name that was dropped from development that the name would probably come back relating to sockets.
Cool. Awesome. I like that. Do you want to hit M really quick and show him the ancient era map? for the little chained area.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So so the images he showed, I think it's left. There it is. So this, what, Temple of a Terror, right? So you see the chains on it. So that's the cinematic, something to do with this thing. Yeah.
I literally
on
don't
this is
know.
great.
Like what I can say about it is just from a player's perspective, because I actually don't have any information extra on it. But this is I agree with you that this is what I think of when I see those chains.
It's for sure that.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry, I can't say that. I
don't know for
strongly
sure.
think it's
But
this.
yeah, I'm with you. I'd be pretty shocked if it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, you missed one from Guilty.
I've been skipping Guilty stuff.
Oh.
Guilty wants guns. He wants an MTX to change his werebear into a panda. And what else does he want? I don't know.
More a fully player generated economy on the merchant's
and a
console.
full player generated economy. And a passives reset button. There you go.
The only one I'll say maybe on is the passive reset button, because I'm still pushing for it myself.
Well, you guys slipped up when you and Judd were streaming, and you're like, "Oh, we already have that," and we know that you internally already have it, but
Yeah,
it just
we do.
hasn't gone out to the
I
players.
said that earlier today too, actually.
I know.
Yeah. No, we
Just
do have
Doc
one.
said, "Ring comparison bug."
Yeah.
Sorry if I missed it. I talked. Mike knows.
The ring comparison thing is funny. There's like just getting the comparison tooltip in general in sucked. And it's possible to add another one, and we probably will. Like we'll get that in eventually. But it's tedious, and it's a pain. Ugh.
The ring comparison.
It's not just the ring comparison; it's also offhand comparison too.
There you go.
Yeah, because if you've got two one-handed swords equipped, and you've got a sword in your inventory, it compares to one, not the other, and you got to switch them to compare to the first one or the second one. Yeah,
Right.
that's something that needs to get in.
I think we're good, Mike. If that's all the teasers, I don't see any other questions.
Wonderful. Yes. Oh, someone has no question. Just hoping you're fixing more bugs. Yes, bug fixing is when I say polish, and I said polish like 80 times this stream. A huge part of polish is bug fixing. That's a lot of what polish is it's bug fixing. Yeah. So yes, we are definitely fixing bugs all the time. There's people who they'll spend an entire week and just fixing bugs.
The bug fixers. You're not a bug fixer?
I fix bugs all the time. And you mean like everyone cycles in and out of things that they're doing. So like that's why I said spend a week doing it, because you don't spend that would be kind of tedious to only be doing that ever and never implementing anything new. So I mean, people.
Reimer says we will never not fix bugs.
Yeah.
Reimer's been listening the whole time.
Always.
Dang it. I know. Awesome. Mike, this has been great. Thank you for the invitation. Really enjoyed playing. Thank you for carrying me through some of the game and showing me what's possible with the sorcerer class and answering questions and teasers. Yes.
Yeah, I had a blast. Thanks for coming on. It'll make your 100th. If anyone didn't know, this is in honor of your 100th dev chat video.
Yes, my Saturday. Well, I watched the stream. Saturday, I put together the dev chat, which is the breakdown from Mike's Friday stream, and today is dev chat 100, which just sounds. I can't even believe it's been 100, Mike.
It's awesome.
You've been streaming a while now.
Yeah, and we just got us up, Belgian Waffle. Thank you very much. Sneaking under the wire, love it. But that's gonna do it for us today. Thank you everyone for coming out. I had a great time. I hope you did too. Aaron.
I did.
If you didn't get your question answered and you would like it to get answered, please head on over to our Discord. There's an Ask the Devs channel. I'll be happy to answer it. We will not be having stream next week, so we're taking a week off. We will be back up and running again the week after that, so the next stream will be on the 14th. We're around. We're active on all sorts of platforms to get questions and answers for any sorts of stuff. Yeah. That's about it. Anything else you want to say, Aaron?
You're all awesome. Bye.
All right. Let's go
I'm looking.
I should have this ready. I was gonna to bump over to someone. I don't recognize anyone. Most of them aren't in English, which I feel bad sending an English stream to a non-English stream just because a bunch of people won't know what's going on.
They'll be like, "What is happening?"
But let's go say hi to someone that has 0 people right now, which we'll fix.
Oh, they're gonna be excited.
I love doing that. I love hopping into streams that have no one watching and watching.
They're just like,
I love doing it.
that. What? Oh.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite. All right. Have a good day, everyone. See you later. You've been wonderful.